Peace. This is Star with the Star Blooms. Real quick, y'all. I wanted to share a quick message. I literally was having a whole conversation in my head, and it's basically about a channeled message that I had from like a week ago. And a lot of times when this happens, I'm more than likely like being called to like share it because somebody might need to hear it. A lot of times, we as empathics, we want to fix our surroundings. We want to alchemize our circumstances. We want to alter, change, and create a space that is really a sanctuary for us to be able to come home to, right? And when you're dealing with relationships, whether it be like your counterpart, soulmates, this could be like, familiar, just like friends and stuff like that, even family. When there's a dissonance, there's a disconnect in the relationship and the connection, there's this idea of how we need to work something out. But there are very, very clear signs a lot of the times that will help you and guide you moving through. I have like a tingling sensation around my eyes. I don't know what that means. Probably sleep. Um, I'm gonna have to figure out what that means. People show up in the position playing the role that they've already agreed to. It is not our responsibility to then create a role that works for us for them to basically be in the position that we desire for them to be in our life. Release yourself from the obligation of having to choose over your peace versus what somebody else is willing to contribute for an environment. Change the environment, change your circumstances. If you can change the environment, change how you are in the space and allow you to be free and whole within yourself, which allows the space for you to be able to accept the freedom and the choice of other people. And you'll have this allotment of understanding, okay, well, this isn't for me. This isn't what this season was called for with this energy, and I'm going to remove myself. And you'll just move accordingly, and you'll go through things that you'll heal yourself before you have to go through the circumstance because you've already moved beyond it just by having the perspective. I'm seeing 55 and 1144. So I wanted to share that message with you all. 244. How about that? I wanted to share that message with you all because I feel like it's important. We get to allow ourselves to be at a rate to where we're aware consciously, hey, people have the right to choose different. This could be a circumstance where you believe that this was the thing. I had this analogy that was so amazing. I like writing, y'all, okay? And especially if you're thinking like just novels and stuff like that, there is always, even if it's like a TV show, okay, there's always like your favorite character, right? You have the person, oh my God, like I love this character. And then it gets to a certain rate within a season, all right, where this character, for some reason, all right, you could have dealt with this character being on until the end of this show, until the end of this book. But for some reason, this character gets wrote off or gets basically taken out of the picture for whatever tragic reason. They might just, go away, whatever. Something happens to where it's like a main character is just like they're gone. A lot of us are in that season where we have basically made a final decision about a temporary circumstance that we weren't aware of because we didn't previously discern while or before we got to the situation what this was here for and what it was teaching us. Own your lesson. Own your lesson. I'm going to keep on saying this so y'all be in the habit of representing the fact that you've owned the fact that you are aware, oh, this is what this was coming to teach me. This is what I was actually receiving for me, even in this space. I was learning this about myself. This relationship taught me this rate of experience. Even if somebody just teaches you to be able to be willing to see and believe what people show you versus trying to make an agreement or have a conversation, you'll recognize 90% of the time people who show up different than how you previously came to terms with or agreed to interact with each other, they're completely aware of the fact that they didn't hold up their end of the bargain. You really don't need to have a whole lot of conversations that disturb your peace and hurt your heart, making you feel inadequate in any way because somebody basically chose something different. Choose not to be rejected in circumstances and choose yourself enough to move beyond whatever it is that you're experiencing because you're aware of the energy that you've generated and you want it to be reciprocated. And if it's not, decide different, allow, be accepting of circumstances and disconnect. All right. Somebody needed to hear that. Disconnect, remove yourself from the experience and don't harbor harsh emotions or feelings towards it. Okay. Peace.